Hey, I'm Drogon here, and welcome back to what if deku was the Dovahkiin. So, first off, I just want to say, I already know what I'm going to do for my 200 special, which of course I'm going to do that as my next, milestone. But, I already know what I'm going to do for my 500th subscriber special. And for my 500 subscriber special, isn't going to be a what if deku. Isn't really going to be a what if. It's going to be a story. Just like, I'm making up a story. Because I already have an idea. And, you know what? Actually, I'm going to make it in the world of My Hero Academia. I'm making it in the world. It's not my OC or anything stupid like that. Well, technically it is an OC. It's just like a character or something. No. I'm not making it in that world. I'm just going to make it up. I'm just going to make it up as I go. Just snap, bring pop, because I already have ideas of who he is and all this. And I'm not going to tell you, what it is and who's this, new character and stuff. So I'm just excited to show you because it's practically like my own new superhero and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not really a superhero, more like Jason and the Doomslayer had a baby and it got even more fucked up and got the personality of the Joker a bit. I don't know. It'll just say, shit's about to go down with that. So, by the way, I forgot to say something. A certain someone, I forgot their name, sorry. I'm terrible with names. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible with names. So, I forgot your name, but they said that I am the Deku of what ifs because I take so many notes. And he's right. Because I have a lot of notes about a lot of things, for school. And I even have notes for work. And I have notes for school and video games. Definitely video games. On Subnautica and Little Nightmares 1 and 2. All these notebooks and everything. I have stacks of notebooks in my room just sitting there. And I used to have a bunch of Pokemon ones, but I gave them to a friend of mine's little brother, including my old Pokemon cards. Got passed down the legacy. It physically hurt when I had to do that, but they were happy, which made me happy. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into what if. So, last time, Deku got accepted into UA, and it's about to be the first day of UA High School. It's a couple days beforehand, though. And Deku is walking down the street. And he's walking down the street going to visit Mina and... just Mina. Kirishima wasn't there today. No, this is the ship. Deku does not have a ship. Unless you do want a ship. And I do slightly have an idea for the ship. But no ship for now. Oh, that's popcorn. And then he hears a scream. Ah, shit! A grown man screaming for help. As he runs over and he sees a purple portal. He recognizes the portal. He goes over and sees Mina. She's sitting, she's flown back a tiny bit. And this guy, and then this girl who's really familiar is holding the guy, or the thug, up on the back with his neck, something you see from a movie, the classic, choking him in from the neck, a force thing, but, except without the telekinesis, and it's actually, hand on neck, just choking him, feet above air, and he's like, help, oh, I'm sorry, please, don't kill me. As the woman says, you dare put yourself unto a woman. That is no reason that I shouldn't spare you. As Deku recognizes the voice, it says, Well, 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 I thought you didn't like being out in the daytime. She stops and looks back and sees Deku. And she says, Dovahkiin? You look young. As Deku looks at his old friend, Serena. Serena? Hold on. Gotta get my notes. Again. I suck. This, Serena. That's it, Serena. And it's Serena, the vampire from the Dawn Guard DLC. As he recognizes her, and he's like, "Oh, he says, "Long time no see, Serena. Mind letting him go. We don't want to have a lawsuit on your hands." As she's confused, saying, "Lawsuit?" As she drops the guy, and the guy starts to run off, but then Mina trips the guy, falls flat on his face, knocking him out. The police arrive. They debrief everybody. Let's just say all three of them are friends. They're just hanging out. This guy tried to mug Mina, blah, blah, blah. And that's what they're going off. But the police are kind of suspicious since this woman, or this chick, because she's actually 16 right now, because, age and stuff and weird. She's like 16. This 16-year-old is wearing slightly baggy clothes because she tiny bit shrinked, which is super fancy and super gothic, and he's wearing a bunch of super expensive looking jewelry and what looks like a dagger, and pale skin and red eyes. They think the pale skin and red eyes is their quirk, as Deku sees that they're suspicious of her, as he says, "She's a cosplayer." Yeah, she's really into that type of stuff. As Serena's confused, as she just says, "Yes, I am. I take it quite serious, actually." As in, the police officer is like, "Oh, sorry," as they all go on their merry way. Mina's like, "Do you know her?" As Deku, he hasn't told Kirishima and Mina about him going to another world and how he knows magic and stuff. They think it's just his quirk, but no, it's magic. As then he's thinking, we've known each other for like almost a year now. For almost a year now, I've been helping him train a bit. Should I tell them? As Serena says, "Oh, I'm a vampire from another world. Nice to meet you." As Deku is like frozen, like, what the fuck did she just say? Mina's frozen, thinking, what the fuck did she just say? As Serena is like, did I say something wrong? But she's confused. So then Deku takes them home, and he calls Kirishima over, including All Might, or Toshi, and Inko. They're all sitting down. Inko and All Might are wondering, and Kirishima are wondering who this chick is. As Deku says, "Mom, Toshi, this is Serena." As they think, "Oh, that's the Serena, the one that helped you take down that one, the vampire lord." As they say that, but they see Mina and Kirishima there's like, "Oh, that's the one girl that you helped with her father figure issues, right?" As Inko nudges Toshi, says, yes, young Midoriya. Great work on that, might I say, with helping out a friend," as Dick says, "I'm here to tell those two." So they say, as they take a breath of relief, like, "Oh god, I hate putting up that act." As they're confused, as Dick says, and explains that he spent some time in another world, and he's known as Dovahkiin. He's like a hero and very versatile in magic, and blah blah blah, all this. As he tells him that Serena is a vampire, Kirishima's kind of like backing up, like, vampire? Because he thinks, I can just harden my skin, so technically no bites happening now. As Mina's like, oh my god, I have a vampire friend! Oh god, sorry. I can't do high-pitched stuff. The only time I've done high-pitched stuff was that one episode of Thunder God Deku, I think, where I had helium. If you guys don't remember that, then check that out. Yeah, I literally had a balloon of helium. I was like inhaling it. I was being Nezu like young Midoriya and blah blah blah, all that, because I was being stupid. So he tells them everything, and they're surprised, but part of them kind of knew that it wasn't a quirk. It was something else going on. As they did not know. And Deku's thinking, what is he gonna do with Serena? As then he realizes, wait, why is she here? As Deku says, hey, why are you here anyways? As Serena says, oh, well, something happens. And the Dawn Guard disbanded, since now technically I'm was the last vampire in Skyrim. So they got rid of the vampire problem in Skyrim entirely. As Serena says, yes, in Skyrim at least. Everywhere else, well, that's a whole entire mess that the Dawn Guard is not ready yet. So they're staying hidden, and they didn't want me to really stay around, since they, trying to recruit more people to kill vampires, and they could feel upsettled if there was a vampire right there in their ranks. Stig says, yeah, I know. Eastgard is like that. As Kirishima and Mina are like, Eastgard? Stig says, he's the leader of the Dawn Guard, a bunch of vampire hunters. And they're like, oh, right, the Dawn Guard people. You remember that. As Mina says, wait, you said you have, like, these shouts, right? As Deku says, yeah. Why? And he says, how many do you have, and what do they do? As Deku lights up. Usually doesn't really show that much emotion. If he does, it's like when there's a fight going on or something like this. Inko and All Might are like, oh god, not this again. As they haven't really heard all of it, Deku held back a bit because he didn't want them learning out, like, about the Ben Will shout and stuff. But this time he's like, screw it. I'm going to tell him all my shouts. So he says, I'm going to tell you about each and every one of the shouts I have, including the ones I kept secret from Inka, from Mom and Toshi. As they say, you kept some of them secret from us? Zik says, yeah, so might as well. So, we have Animal Alliance, or Allegiance. I can summon different animals to help me in my aid. Wolves, bears, stuff like that. As they're like, okay. Then it says Aura Whisper. This one isn't more of a shout, but more of a whisper. It's where I can see people through walls, whether they be alive and undead. Either way, I can see them through walls, and I can know where their position is. It's great for sneak attacks and ambushes and all that. So it says Battle Fury. I can buff my allies and make their hits really faster. So I can make them, like, fast. Like, how do I explain this? As Kirishima says, so, like, they hit faster? Like, damage per second, stuff like that? Deku says, yeah, like that. So it says, then I have become ethereal, where you actually saw the party. I used it. Izumi says, oh, that's the one where Mirio went through you. As Serena's like, when did this happen? As it says, you don't need to worry about it. Then he continues and tells, like, bend will, where I can bend the will of someone else. As they're all like, okay, hold up. So he's like, don't worry, I won't use it unless absolutely necessary. They have Dragon Rend, which is used against dragons, which brings them down to ground instead of flying in the air. As they think, that's good against dragons, but nothing else. There's Elemental Fury. It's like the Battle Fury, but instead of my allies, it does it on me. There's Call Dragon. I can summon a dragon. As they're like, you can summon an actual dragon? It's like, yeah, but it's nothing really special. Like, not a special dragon. Like, they're stronger than regular dragons, but he's nothing special then. As he laughs to himself, as they're confused, Serena knows exactly who he's talking about. As then he continues. It says, Call of Valor, he can summon a spirit from Sovereign Guard, which is their, like, Valhalla and stuff. They're like cool. There's clear skies. He can clear a storm, cyclone. He can summon a small tornado. Disarm. He can take away someone's weapon. Dismay. He can make people like just stop fighting. Dismay them. Dragon aspect is the one he used in the sports festival, or not the sports festival. The entrance exam. Drain vitality is where I can drain their magicka, stamina, and health. Fire breath. Self-explanatory, including with frost breath. Ice form is where I can actually freeze their bodies in giant thing of ice. Mark for Death and Soul Tear are practically very similar, except Soul Tear takes down their health to the very last bit to where they're almost about to die, and Mark for Death practically takes away their armor. Like, it doesn't take them off them, but like it negates their armor. Like, I can just hit them and their, like, defense is, like, 0. So, it's like, if Kirishima were to use his quirk, it's like his quirk is non-existent. As Kirishima was like, well, if we were to find out what he'd use. He says slow time. I also use that in the entrance exams. Storm Call. I can summon a storm. Throw voice. I used it against Mirio, where I point at someplace. Where it hits, it says something random. You're like, hey, asshole, or over here, ya big Yankee, or whatever. As he then giggles, saying, unrelenting force. This is actually the very first shout I ever mastered and had. I actually used it when I first encountered the vampire. You remember that, right, Toshi? As he remembers the first time they ever met. He's like, yeah, you literally shouted him away. As remembers that, as Deku says, and there's Whirlwind Sprint where it makes me sprint really fast and one fast, like boom, it's like a how do I put this? Speed boost. It's not a permanent speed boost, but it's like how do I put this? It just launches me forward. Let's just say that. It launches me forward at amazing speed using wind behind me. As he says, well, that's pretty much all of them. As Inko says, wait, didn't you say you had 27? You just said 26. Zack says, oh, the last one, that one is something else. It's very similar to my called dragon, but instead it's a very certain dragon. As they're confused, as he asks, can we meet this dragon? Deku says, maybe not now. But maybe in the future. As he giggles to himself. As they're kind of scared, but again, Serena is like, already knows who he's talking about. Then All Might was able to get Serena through recommendation. So let's just say Sato doesn't get into class 1A, but he's in class 1B. Sato being the sugar man. So it's the first day UA. They get in there, and of course Ida and Bakugo are doing their thing. He was like, could you please put your... I am literally doing like the Ida pushing up his glasses because I have glasses myself. One day I should just detail myself to a certain extent. I'm fat. I'm kind of tall. I got glasses. Brown hair. Brown eyes. Christian. Got a little bit of a beard. I don't know if I said beard already. What else? Got a couple moles on my face, like 1 or 2. I'm literally just looking at myself in the mirror. I am very hairy. My mom wasn't hairy. My dad wasn't hairy. Nobody in my mom's side or my father's side was hairy. I'm just hairy. I have no clue where I get it. I don't know if it just popped out of nowhere, but it just did. And that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I do have a small scar above my right eyebrow. Let's just say I loved Superman at the time, and I thought I was like da 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 punk stitches. So yeah, that was fun. Anyways, let's just continue. A little bit about me. By the way, Drogon Rivera obviously isn't my real name, but I'm not gonna give out my real name. Obviously, I want to keep myself at least that much secret. So. It's the Ida and Bacco arguing, and Ida looks over and he sees Deku with Serena, Kirishima, and Mina. Actually, Kirishima and Mina are already there. They went there ahead of time. As Ida says, "Oh, it's you. You're Mr. Midoriya, correct?" As Deku's kind of set off, I was like, "Hey, you don't have to call me Mr. Midoriya. I mean, we're both the same age." I mean, sure, we're in college, but hey, we gotta stick together, right? Hopefully these teachers aren't too harsh. Well, except for Izawa, of course. Ain't that right? As nobody knows what he's talking about except for, of course, Serena. As Serena's walking over and bends down to see a man underneath the desk in a sleeping bag just staring at her. As he says, impressive. You two knew where I was. As he gets up, looks over and says, I'm Shota Izawa. Shota Izawa. I'm your... Oh, God, I hate Mondays. I hate Mondays. He's got a Garfield freaking attitude. It says, I'm your homeroom teacher. As he reaches down into his sleeping bag and pulls out little sports uniforms. It says, put these on and meet me outside onto the training grounds. We'll be doing a quirk assessment test. As Uraraka says, but sir, don't we have as Deku interrupts, we're here at UA to become heroes. We don't have time for stuff like that. So we should just cram stuff in when we can. Am I right? Plus, teachers have full room with what they can do with their classes. So, might as well get as much training as we can so we can become the best heroes we can possibly be. Am I right? As he looks over with a somewhat smile, or more like a little smirk. Everybody just sees this buff, muscular guy with a bunch of scars all over his body. Well, they can't see the scars, obviously, but he has scars on his hands, and one coming from his cheek down through his jaw to his neck, and one above his eye, kind of similar to mine, I should say that. His right eye being red and other being black, with black hair with green tips, because he dyed his hair with green tips because he wanted to, stay similar to his mother. As they all go, get changed, and Kaminari's like, whoa, Midoriya, where'd you get all those scars? You good, bro? As he looks down and looks at the scars, he just gets flashbacks of all the pain he's felt in Skyrim. All the fights, the surprise attacks, as his PTSD that he thought he got rid of ages ago kind of starts flowing back a bit. As he shakes himself out of it, trying to focus. You're not there anymore. You're a Midoriya. You're a student at UA College. UA University. Let's do this. As you just can't get rid of this unsettling stomach, or feeling in his stomach. This feeling of cold and emptiness. As he's just, part of him is just scared. He's scared that one day he's gonna get startled and accidentally kill somebody. Because of how many people he's killed. How many he's seen killed. He's terrified. He doesn't know what to do. As he's starting to tiny bit hyperventilate. As everybody's already dressed and they're about to leave, Kirishima is looking back and he sees Deku with his shirt off, the sports pants on, and he's just breathing kind of heavily. As he gets like a frightened look on his eyes. As Kirishima walks over, Deku puts his hand on his shoulder, saying, "Hey, Mito bro." Deku flinches and looks to Kirishima real fast. As Kirishima backs away, saying, hey, it's okay. You good? Look, I don't know what happened to you at that place, but I understand if you're going through things, but don't worry. We're UA. We're gonna be fine, okay, bro? As he breathes to himself, he inhales and exhales. Says, "Yeah, thanks, Yujiro." As Kirishima hears this, is like, "Yujiro? So we're on a first name basis?" As he starts to cheer off a bit, as he's never really had that many friends. As he's never really had a first name basis friend before. As he's excited, and Deku's like, "Yeah, we're kind of like best friends now, aren't we?" As he cheers up, as he just hugs Deku's like, "I love you, man. This is so manly." Oh god, I'm tearing up myself. Oh god. Oh, I wish I had that type of friendship. Oh, I'm just kidding. Whew. Right. As they get their emotions out, mostly Kirishima, as Deku's like, "Hey, dude, now I need help with you. I need help with you." As they get out, they're a little bit late, as I always ask, "What's up with you two?" Deku says, we had some stuff to do." As they see Kirishima's eyes are a bit puffy, as they're like, "What the hell are those two talk about?" So he says, "Come on, Ichiro." As Mina hears this, and he's like, "Oh my god, you two are on a first name basis?" And she's like, "Oh my god." As she then realizes why Kirishima was crying, because they've been like they know each other and kind of friends for a long time. As Deku says, like, "Yeah, Ashido." As she hears this, it's like, "We're on a first name basis too?" As she starts to tear up, because Deku isn't one to show emotion, and seeing him like do that is like, "Oh my god." As they're like tearing up, as Kirishima started to tear up again, it's like, "I know." As they're crying together, as Deku's like thinking, the weirdest thought right now is like, they make a good couple. As yeah, obviously I'm doing Mina and Kirishima. They do make a good couple, you know. The horned couple, blah blah blah. As they continue, as I was like, "Okay, if you three are done, let's just get this over with." As Serena's like, "What's their deal?" As Deku's like, "Don't worry, they're my friends, along with you." As when she hears this, she kind of blushes. As she doesn't really likes Deku, but she I don't know how to put this. It's between like friendship and liking. Like she like appreciates him, like he's done so much for her. He's done so much for her. Like he's been through like the White Falmer, like he's fought so many Falmer and like Frost Trolls and fought his father with her. He's done all this. Like he had to turn into a vampire for her. And by the way, the transformation back from a vampire, from human, like vampire to human, like trying to turn back into a full human, hurts. I'm gonna say it really hurts. So now, wait. Alright, still recording. Sorry if you hear anything. It's raining. It's pouring. Some old men are snoring somewhere. So they do that, and Aizawa takes the ball, softball, tosses it to Deku. Says, "Mr. Midoriya, you're the top one in the exams. Try and throw this as far as you can with your quirk." Deku's like, "Okay." As he uses one for all, he thinks like, how should I do this? As he puts only 50% of one for all on this. And he looks up at the sky, thinks. Then he has an idea. As then he says, "So gratu!" As then a small gust of wind comes out of his mouth. Everybody's confused. As then he holds up his hand, as the ball has this grayish aura around it. And Deku moves his hand. It's like suddenly like super fast. It's like going around like a bee or something, like a fly. And everybody's like, what? As then Mina says, Elemental Fury. Elemental Fury, right? As Kirishima's like, yeah, I think that's it. As everybody looks at them and is like, what are you guys talking about? As they stop and is like, nothing. As they're confused. As then Deku, as hard as he can with 50% of, only 50% because he doesn't want to show off that much, as he throws it as hard as he can, making a gust of wind, and right before it starts going down, he stomps down and says, "Fusruta!" As then he uses the unrelenting, whatever how you pronounce it. I'm not good with big words. Force, U-Force, let's say, call it that, U-Force, as it pushes it even farther, and it, like, goes, like, it's booming. Because ever since he got one for all, his shouts are actually a bit more stronger. As that is now gone, as I was looking at his thing, it's like, oh shit, this kid's built different. As he says, 5,692 points. I'm a man of culture, so yeah. As everybody's like jaw dropping, like, what? He did that in one throw, and like they're like, and Sarah's like, man, this is gonna be fun. As Deku's like, shit, he shouldn't have said that. Because he knows that Aizawa has expelled a whole entire class before. As he hears Aizawa says, "Oh yeah, well then, how about this? If you think it's so fun, then let's put a little bit of a bargain in it." As they're all like, oh shit. As then Aizawa says, "The person who gets last place gets expelled. As they all continue, and Deku, the little short race is going on. He uses the, like the Wold-na-Kist whirlwind sprint as he zooms past Ida with a big gust of air behind him, like boom, as he crushes the strength test with One for All, because he is the successor of One for All. Blah blah blah, all this is happening. This Bacco is kind of jealous, but at the same time, he's happy. All this time he's seen Deku as this lowly kid they always pick on. And all this time he kind of felt bad about Deku. He thought bullying him would kind of toughen him up a bit. Because in his mind is, Bakugo's kind of tiny bit of a dick. I'm gonna say that. Bakugo's dick. We all know that. It's kind of, it's not that, it's kind of obvious. Is now, he's kind of happy to see Deku become this strong. As then he thinks, wait, hold on, why the hell am I happy? As then the the scores show up. As it's number 1, Deku, number 2, Serena, number 3, Todoroki, Bakugo, Momo, and then Kirishima and Mina are actually up there because they've been training with Deku a bit. And it helped a lot. As they're like, our training worked out. Because I'm going to say, Kirishima, he's so far with his training that he gets his unbreakable form. You know what? No, I'm not going to say when he gets it. I'm not going to say when he gets it. So, they continue with their classes and stuff. It's the next day, and they're choosing class representatives. As Deku is continuing, as then he feels something kind of crawl the back of his neck. He has a chill down his spine. The only time he's felt that is when then they hear a monstrous roar. Roar! Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. As then all the students look outside. It's lunchtime, by the way. All the students look outside. And they're like, whoa, what was that? As then, from the ground, a portal opens up. So then they see a dragon. Not a normal dragon. A dark, ironclad dragon with red crimson eyes. It's him. As Deku says, Alduin. As he grits his teeth and clenches his fist. As he looks at this man, or this dragon, this monster. As he remembers what he's done at Helgen. I think that's the place. As then, he marches out. Starts to march out. As Alduin screams out, Dovahkiin! I wish to speak with you. As Deku is already face to face with him. Everybody's wondering, what the hell's going on? Everybody's seeing this, and they're wondering, the teachers are there, they're thinking it's a villain attack, as they see Deku's there. As All Might is, of course, there, he says, wait! This is something out of our hands. All the teachers are like, what? What's going on? As Nezu, she's just looking All Might's eyes, and he says, everybody stand down. Let Midoriya do this. As Midnight says, he's just a student. He doesn't know what he's doing. As All Might says, he has more experience than I do. As they all look at All Might in confusion, I was like, what did he just say? More experience than All Might. As All Might says, technically, he's older than me. He says this under his breath, and most people don't hear this, but Nezu and Aizawa hear this. It's like, what? As they look over at Deku, and the dragon and Deku are having an argument. But nobody understands them, because they're speaking in dragon. They're like, Din Slim Drim, Lun Tid Femzi Mid Zavar Granmir Lasya. I'm just spitting out random words I have written down right now. If you guys can translate that, which, have fun, by the way. Tell me what it says, because I'd love to see that. Plus, I'm gonna try and get a Discord. I don't have Discord right now, so I'm gonna try and get it. And when I do, I want to see fan art, Like, I've never seen, like, what if fan arts. The closest I've seen is, like, that one Deku pool thing I've seen. I just want to see that. I want to see, like, what if fan arts, you know? Like, Deku as Venom. Like, I'm sure there's, like, a couple out there, you know? But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff purposely dedicated to all this stuff, you know? Like, a actual Deku wearing the Daedric armor, and with, like, the black hair, green frosted tips, mixed matched eyes with the scars I just described earlier. I really want to see that. So if somebody out there makes that, go buck wild. Hell, if you want to try and make like a fan art of my icon, like my YouTube icon on the thing, go ahead. I don't care. I don't care if it's like gotcha or whatever. I don't care. I just want to see someone do that. That'd be awesome. And I'm sorry I don't do shoutouts. I'm horrible with names, and I always forget. Working up a sweat. Always walking. So, as he's having this argument with Alduin, they're talking about how he's alive, as Alduin's saying he doesn't know. And all he knows is that he needs to speak with him. As Dick is like, you're a destroyer of worlds. You've killed hundreds. Why shouldn't I kill you right here, right now? As Alduin says, because for the longest time, I've remembered I always felt this bloodlust against humans and the mortals. But for some reason it's gone. As then the dragon, or Alduin, slowly shrinks as he's confused as he takes a step back. As Alduin shrinks into a regular guy. Ha! You thought I was gonna make him a dragon waifu. Nope! That ain't happening. The dragon waifu's gonna go in my 250. Some of you might know what already I'm gonna do for my 250, which I'm actually excited about. So, it's this regular guy in what looks like really cool armor. Like dragon armor. Like dragon scale armor. He's wearing dragon scale armor, but it's like black. And he has a great sword. And that's it. As he's actually about the same height as Deku, as Alduin in his human form walks up to Deku. He's still like ready to fight somehow, as then Alduin says, when you vanquished me, I was sent to this place. As he's confused. He doesn't want to fight. All this time he thought Alduin was this monster, this demon from hell. As Deku decides to hear him out. Cut him some slack. He's here to change. He's here to try and get rid of all that anger he's built up over the years. Here's the story that Alduin has been in this dark place and thinking about everything he's done. And he thought of something that Deku told him in their fight at Sovngarde. As Deku is about to deal the final blow. As Alduin says, why do you do this? You are like me. You can be an immortal. You are a god. Why fight for these worthless beings? As Deku says, well, think of it like this. I'd like to treat others the way I want to be treated. As Alduin slightly gasp from this. Then Deku deals the final blow, killing Alduin. As then Alduin says, I remember those words. The It kept echoing in my mind. Oh, what do they mean? Why do they mean so? And why can't they get out of my head? As then one day I realize that it isn't just those words, but the person who said them. You are far greater than me. You are far greater than a god. I don't know what to call you now, but whatever it is, I shall worship it. As Deku's taken back by this, as Alduin draws his sword, as everybody's in a stance thinking that it's about to fight, because they're still talking in Draconic, as he takes the sword and stabs into the ground and takes a knee. And in English says, "Ah, my sword belongs to you, Dovahkiin, Dragonborn, Izuku Midoriya. You are greater than any god I've seen." And everybody's like, what the fuck did he just say? So I'm gonna end it here. Screw it. I'm gonna end it here. Next time is gonna be the hero versus villains. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I think I should have done it a little bit earlier. But I'm gonna do it next time because blah blah blah. And I might do the USJ in one episode with that too. But the next thing I'm gonna do is Thunder Deku because I haven't, or Thunder God Deku because I haven't uploaded one of those in a bit. I just really want to upload a Skyrim or a Dovahkiin video. So if you liked it, if you like this series, press the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Whew, that was a good one. I feel like I made a good one. Alright. I am the Crimson Chaos. Say, we're gonna start. It's a bank heist. This is like a federal bank. Like, this is a big. Like, this is a big boss bank. Like, that's how serious this place is. Oh, shit, it's still recording. Oh, no.